Anthony Joshua is not an elite fighter. Well, that's according to Tyson Fury's promoter Bob Arum, and in today's video I'm going to explain why that statement is absolutely ridiculous. But first, let's take a look at what Bob Arum actually said.
As far as Joshua is concerned, the only people that think that Joshua is an elite heavyweight are the Brits. He isn't. He isn't. Andy Ruiz is a good heavyweight, but he's not a top-tier fighter. And any fighter that gets knocked out by Andy Ruiz is not an elite fighter.
So just for context, Bob Arum here is talking before the Joshua Kubrat-Pulev fight. And you might be thinking, well, why are you bringing this up now? This happened like 6 months ago. But Bob Arum's actually reiterated these comments in a recent interview with Gareth A. Davies, even after AJ knocked out your boy Kubrat-Pulev. So I don't know what's up with Arum. Has he gone senile? Does he need to retire? Maybe. So firstly, let's address this point about AJ being stopped by Ruiz, who's not an elite puncher, so Joshua can't be an elite heavyweight because he was stopped by Ruiz. So I'm not sure if Bob Arum knows this, but once upon a time, there was a heavyweight called Lennox Lewis, and he was actually the last undisputed heavyweight champion who was knocked out by Hasim Rahman, who was not a huge puncher. Lewis actually avenged this loss in the rematch by KOing Hasim Rahman, and you could argue this was quite similar to Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz Jr. Obviously Joshua won the rematch on points, but the point still stands. Lennox Lewis was an elite fighter before getting knocked out by Hasim Rahman, and he was an elite fighter after knocking out Hasim Rahman. And in my opinion, and many other people's opinions, that is the same for Anthony Joshua. He was an elite fighter before he lost to Andy Ruiz Jr. and he is still an elite fighter after beating Andy Ruiz Jr. All you have to do is look at the resume. You have to look at the people that Anthony Joshua has beat. And if anyone is elite in this era of heavyweight boxing, it's AJ. It's not Tyson Fury. It's not Dillian Whyte. It's not Deontay Wilder. It's not Alexander Povetkin. It's not Usyk. It's not Joseph Parker. None of these guys have the resumes to back up their claim to elite level. So if Anthony Joshua is not an elite heavyweight, I don't know who is. But I want to know who you think is the #1 heavyweight in the world. Let me know in the comment section.